Hi guys! Thanks for stopping by my channel. I'm Sam and today we're going to be crocking. So that's what I like to call when I craft what I have in stock. And this project started with a craft night that was hosted by my friend Hannah at the Teachers TBR. We made these cute little book page ghosties and then I got a little carried away. So using stuff I had in stock already, I was able to make this super cute garland. Now you can buy the supplies yourself or use what you already have. The thing I love so much about this garland is you can really customize it to your own style or different seasons. So let's get started and I'll show you how to do it. We are going to start with the book page ghosty garland, and you'll just need an old book. I have a dictionary, some jute or string, ribbon, whatever you want, clothespins. You could use a hole punch or hot glue, but I'm going to show you why I like clothespins, scissors, and a Sharpie, pen, marker, whatever you got. First off, you're going to rip out some pages. I tried to get ones that didn't have pictures on them. Yes, I know, it hurts to watch, but it is for the greater good of the project. So I also wanted to shout out Hannah again with her book club. So the craft night was for her book club, which is called Comfy Cozy Book Club, and this was her first ever craft night, and Hannah did such a great job of sharing on YouTube on how to do it during a live, and we all got to craft together, and she has a Discord, so we got to share pictures, and it was so much fun. But anyways, back to the project. So once you have all your sheets cut out, I mean, it really depends on the size of your book and ghosties on how many you're going to need. I did 10, and then I decided I didn't trust myself, so I used a pen that kind of matches the paper, and I drew out my ghosties first with that. You can also use a pencil. I couldn't find a pencil, but I found this pen and drew out my ghostie before I cut it out. You could do this and then draw with the Sharpie. I just liked the old school way and kept it simple because I kind of like the farmhouse look of things. So do whatever you want. This is where you can get really fun and creative. You could also probably print off a ghostie and trace it through a window, or if you have like some kind of light pad if you don't like the way your ghosts look, but really I think you can do it. Just try it. So as you can see, I'm cutting out the ghosties. I did about 3 pages at a time. Now you could make all your ghosts completely different, or you can be lazy like me and do 3 layers at a time. But this also depends on how thick your paper is. Mine is super old dictionary paper, so it's pretty thin. You're just gonna keep cutting. Cut all of your pages out, as many ghosties as you want. If you mess up, rip out more pages, cut out more ghosties. It'll be okay. You can do it. It'll be fun. I promise. Now, because my paper is super thin, I did make sure I had scrap pages behind me so that my Sharpie didn't bleed through, and I just drew on a couple eyes. Now, most people in the book club for the craft night put little mouths and faces on them, and they were so cute. So if you want to give them some more personality and make them happy, scared, sad, whatever you're feeling, you totally can. Like I said, I was going for a really simple look and easier. But I love how different everybody's is. So once your ghosties are done, you can grab your string and grab on your clothespins and attach them. The reason I like using clothespins for garlands in this situation is because then I can move it around. I wanted to put this garland on my fireplace, and my fireplace is huge, and I wasn't quite sure if I glued them on how they would fit on there and look, but you can totally do that if you just want to do this portion of the craft. And this is how it looks. It turned out so cute. It was so simple and easy. Such a great idea, Hannah. Now I wanted to get crazy. I grabbed some yarn that I got from Dollar Tree last year or the year before, some scrap cardboard, I know you have it, scrap fabric. You're gonna need scissors again, so just keep out the ones you had. And then I had these beads too that I got from Dollar Tree, but I did not end up using them. So the amount of cardboard you're gonna need depends on the length of your tassels. So if you want short tassels, you're gonna have a short piece. If you want long tassels, you're gonna want a longer one. I wanted longer ones. Mine is about 8 inches tall by 3 inches wide. You're going to start with your yarn at the bottom and wrap around the cardboard, not super tight, just, loose but a little taut. And I went around 10 times. Depending on your type of yarn or whatever you're using for your tassel, you can determine how thick you want your tassel to be. Because this yarn is fuzzy, I decided that I only wanted to do it 10 times. So once you get to the bottom on your 10th time or however many times, you cut your piece of yarn, and then I go one full round with another piece of yarn and cut it just a little bit longer. You're then going to use this piece at the top, so the opposite of where your ends are of your yarn, and you're going to make sure that it's in the center of that string up at the top. Make sure it's equal on both sides, or at least pretty dang close. And then you're going to do a double knot to secure your tassel. This will help your tassel from coming loose. Now you can also keep this string up at the top to tie onto your jute or whatever you're using as your string. I like threading the jute through the tassel, so I'm going to put my ends down at the bottom. That's why we made it so long, is that it's the same length as the rest of the pieces. And then you're going to cut at the bottom all of the pieces. So your tie is up top at the middle, and then all of your ends are now cut at the bottom. You can put this straight onto your string, like I said, how I like to thread mine through. You can do it this way depending on how you are making your garland. I ended up only doing it for an example, and I made all of mine separate. But now you're going to grab another string that is about the length of your whole tassel, and you're going to tie it about an inch down from the top. And the way I like to do it is I do a single knot and then another knot, and then I flip it over and tie 2 knots on the other side. You just want to make sure that the top part of your tassel isn't all bunched up. You want it to be pretty brushed through in the equal length. So here I'm doing my second knot, and then I'm flipping it over to the other side, and I'm bringing the string around and tying 1 knot and another. Depending on your type of yarn or string or whatever you're using, it really might depend on how you want to do this. So I am just putting the strings down so they match. If you're using a different type of yarn that's not so fuzzy and forgiving, you might want to just trim by your knot and like hot glue it so it doesn't come undone, or push your long tails on the inside of your tassel. Now I'm using my scrap fabric, which is a flannel, so it's thicker. And because our tassels are 8 inches long, I'm going to double that number and add an inch onto it. So it was 8 inches, so doubled is 16, 1 more inch is 17 inches. The extra inch allots you some extra space when you tie the fabric on, and if you have thinner fabric, then your fabric tassels might be a little bit longer than your yarn tassels, but then you can just trim the ends if that's the case, if you don't like that look. Sometimes it's cute where all of the sizes are a little bit different. It really looks like a shabby chic, so if that's what you're going for, go for it. Then I cut my fabric into about 1 inch strips. I knew that my squares were 2 inches, and sometimes I wanted them to be a little thicker, sometimes I wanted to be a little thinner. I really don't care. I like the shabby chic look of all this, And then before I string anything together, I like to kind of get an idea of a layout. So you can see I did 3 fabric tassels and then 1 yarn. This is where I found out too, I just thought it was going to be too much with the wooden beads, but I do love wooden bead garlands. And then I went ahead and just threaded on all of my yarn tassels because I'm going to tie the fabric onto the jute directly. And you can tie it a couple different ways. You could just tie it like a knot, and that kind of gives it a different look than the way I'm going to do it. But do whatever you want. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to fold it in half and then take the loop around the jute. Then I'm going to take the ends and put that through the opening while going around the jute. Now with bulkier fabric, it's kind of hard to pull it tight, but I pull it tight and then I pull on the jute to kind of unpull the jute from being all kinked, if that makes sense. So then I just went and I did my yarn, 3 things of fabric, looped them around, and then I would move my yarn tassel down. There's really not like a right or wrong way to do this. Just do whatever makes your heart happy. So if you wanted to add beads, you can add beads. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can make them super scrunched up together, or I went through and started spacing them out because this is a heavy garland. And that's what it looks like just on its own, which is so cute. But then I couldn't resist. See, this is why I liked the clothespins, because then I added the little ghosties onto this, and I just think it's perfect. I could add pumpkins for Thanksgiving. I could then do Christmas trees and buffalo plaid, butterflies, and bright fabric. You can do this for so many things. It's so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. If you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed yet, and you like this content, please do so. If you don't know what to comment, you can put a little ghost emoji. And I hope this really sparked some inspiration for you. And if it did, please tag me on anything you post on social media at @asparkasam on all platforms. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!